Podcasters know how to finish their bourbon,
We don't.
but maybe they do.
Let's find out.
On This Is My Bourbon Podcast. Did you know there's a new way to get all the bonus content available to our Patreon subscribers? If you're an Apple Podcast listener, you can now subscribe to our exclusive $5 a month audio feed for the pregame chats, uncut version of the podcast, and a weekly bonus episode. And as always, you can still support the show at patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. Now, enjoy this week's episode. Welcome to This Is My Bourbon Podcast, everybody. I'm Perry.
I'm Eric.
And he did the finger guns. That was cool. That was really cool. Hasn't been cool since... Okay, well, anywhere from finger guns to machine guns to mini guns.
Yeah, all the guns.
All over the place.
All over the place. Fake. It's just for fun.
Okay. Well, don't get us demonetized, I guess. Who am I kidding? We're not monetized.
They're
anyway.
super soakers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
hey,
edit that in there when I do that. Just put a super soaker there. You can do that, right?
No. You make it too much work for me this week.
Anyway,
thanks so much for being here. If it's your first time here, subscribe if you haven't done so. You're killing them with the visual jokes. The audio listeners have no idea what you're doing. He's pretending to throw water on me. He's pulling out the I think you should leave jokes very early on. I'm excited for this week's episode. We're going to be reviewing the Bourbon Pursuit United Double Oaked Bourbon. You can tell by our wonderful intro that took us a while to get off the ground.
They don't know that.
Well, now they do.
Better subscribe.
Yeah. We normally kick episodes off with Flying Blind, or this week we're changing it up. We haven't done this one in a while.
Tell them what day it is now.
It is, as of recording, June 7th, 2024, National Donut Day. And we decided, Eric decided, that we were going to do our infrequent kickoff segment, Sips and Snacks.
Sips and Snacks.
Which is a Whiskey Mutant led segment where we pair a whiskey.
Smell of that box. We pair a whiskey with a snack.
If their only smell-o-vision took off the way that it was supposed to during the 60s and 70s,
it would be over for me.
It's so wonderful. Just full of fruit, cinnamon, and cake flavors.
All right, so we're going to pair a donut in here. I've got a bunch of donuts in here, which, you can take some home or my kids will probably eat them. But the one I wanted to pair, and I was going to let Perry pair it. He can use whatever he wants. He's got a bag. He's got the shelves. He's got everything around us. Perry, what would you pair with a blueberry pancake donut?
Now, folks,
blueberry pancake donut.
Let me
from North Lime.
Let me tell you, This is from North Lime Coffee and Donuts. This is a Lexington, Kentucky, owned and operated donut joint. And one of my favorite places. It is a treat. If you were at the meetup a couple weeks ago, you got to enjoy donuts with the Mutant, Mutant Donut Hour before we headed off to our excursion for the day, which was RD1 Spirits. And I've been dieting, trying to lose some weight before Baby Ritter #2 shows up in September. And I fasted yesterday, which was nice. I'll be very honest with you. I felt very good afterwards. Here I am coming off of that, about to eat a donut.
You got to replenish the body.
I got to, yeah, exactly. And what better way to do that than with my favorite type of donut, which is a blueberry cake donut.
I knew that.
Did you have to ask somebody?
No.
You just knew?
You've told me that a
Okay.
million times.
Okay.
Every time we eat donuts, you talk about blueberry donuts.
Okay, well, that's...
You think I don't know who you are.
It's That's why I love them.
And later on, I got some beef with you. We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later.
On my hot takes. But for now...
Then now he's going to treat me.
So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to treat you. And then later
and then he's going to beat me.
Beat you. Son of a...
It's part of our contractual agreement.
Say that. Let's have this by itself. Just get the taste. And then
I'm gonna actually enjoy this for a moment.
And we're going to turn the mics away. Cheers to the donut.
Dink it.
Just dinged the donuts.
We dinked it, and now we're going to sink it.
Oh, heaven. Oh, my God. That icing, because it's a pancake. They put the pancake on the icing, and they left the blueberry in the cake. It's so good.
Why am I trying to lose weight? Why can't I just eat this?
Well, lucky.
Life is so much easier.
This is a special. They don't have this all the time, so you're not going to miss out every day on this because they don't have it every day.
Now, okay, here's my thinking.
Oh.
It's easy to go for the maple finish, bourbon or rye, right?
Let's not make it easy.
Because there's more to it than that. There's the fruit flavor in here too, with the blueberry and the batter.
Blueberry's a fruit.
Yeah, buddy.
That was candy.
It may as well be. Most fruits actually aren't that healthy for you.
So what are you going to do? What do you want? What do you want to do? You got to get mutant with it, baby. You know, we always talk about pairing. We either want to elevate, which you said just now, that would be too easy. Elevating either the fruit or the pancake, the maple, and all that on it. Or I have a feeling you're wanting to do like either make something new or add a different flavor to this. I can see your wheels spinning, your head thinking you didn't miss your turn, you're on the right path.
If you're a subscriber to our exclusive content, whether on Patreon or Apple Podcasts, you understand that reference. But if not, well, I'm gonna just leave you to it. Because I'm kind of thinking savory.
Oh, you want to add a little bacon to this?
A little
A
bit?
little salty? No? Something? A little nuts on top? A little meaty? A little savory?
Ooh.
What?
Ooh.
What?
Nuts.
Nuts. Nuts.
Nuts.
I'm going to get nutty. What do you want?
What's the nuttiest Knob Creek bottle? It doesn't have to be Knob Creek single barrel.
So what's the nuttiest?
Or Jim Beam, just Jim Beam in general that you have.
The nuttiest?
Yeah.
The peanuttiest?
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my Lanta.
Dude, that's a nutty boy.
He has reached for and presented me with I've got to make sure there's no glare for the video watchers, a Knob Creek 15-year.
It's a nut job if I ever tasted one.
I don't know. I don't know how. Okay.
What?
I'm just going to go for it.
Well, you don't know how to what?
I just
Oh, look at the color on this thing.
I just don't know how to process it because it's not very often anymore that we get to have 15-year-old Knob Creek.
Now, this is the 100 proof. This is not a Knob Creek 15-year pick. This is the legit 100 proof in a box thing.
I don't think it needs to be
No.
one of the single barrels.
I just
And
wanted
that's why
people to know.
Yeah. And that's why I said it didn't need to be a single barrel anyway.
In a box. Oh, my Lanta. Told you.
That's what I was looking for.
That's nutgasm.
It does smell nutty. It also smells like you're in a highway roadside diner and they've been cooking bacon and sausage
Oh, I like that.
for years.
I like that.
And it's just in like the fabric and the DNA of the building. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's smoky.
The walls are stained with breakfast smoke.
Yeah.
Maybe a little cigarettes too, but old school diner, people smoking in there. A little tobacco.
What are you going to do? Maybe used to be a truck stop
Maybe,
at some point.
but it's always good.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Even what's left in my mouth from the donut, I can already tell this is good. This is going to be a great pair.
This is what we were looking for. All right. In mutant fashion, it's time for the pour over.
Let me get that icing on screen, baby. Look at that icing, that pancake icing. It's thick, too. All right. Here we go. Oh, yeah. The perfect bite. Brah. The wild thing is how salty you get when it mixes. You get that salt and sweet. That's like bacon.
That's exactly what I wanted from it.
Oh.
And as the story goes, if you know about OBC Kitchen in Lexington, Kentucky, you know about their donut bites, right?
Oh, yeah.
Their little donut balls.
Tony found out.
Tony did find out about them. Tony Bag-O Donuts.
Tony bag of donut
bag of
balls.
donuts. The very first time that I went there
Oh, my God.
was the very first time I met the legendary Iverson, who does not work there any longer, unfortunately. But he has moved on to bigger and better things with his life, which is perfectly fine. As you do with most restaurants that you've never been to before, you ask them, what's good here?
They say everything.
They say everything, but, you know, OBC really hasn't changed that much since they opened.
No.
And even back then, they had their bacon in a glass.
Mm-hmm. In a glass.
Which is their candied bacon. And we got that for an appetizer.
I've got sweet like phlegm right now. All the icing. I got the icing phlegm.
Ew.
Well, you know what it is when you like.
I know
have
what you mean. It just sounds weird. Anyway, came time for dessert. And we're asking him what's good for dessert. He said the donut bites.
Balls.
And we had gotten to be, friends with Iverson over the evening. We were like, you know what would be really good? Is if you battered the bacon in the donut batter and deep fried it. He goes, we've never done that before.
And then injected whiskey into it.
I mean, I wasn't the whiskey nerd that I am now back then.
Did they do it?
The deep fried bacon?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Now, I'm not advocating for going to OBC
I'm trying to make them do
and trying to make them do that. It was a special occasion. And Iverson had, it was early days for the restaurant and everything. It was special, But that's the kind of experience I get with this pairing is what I'm getting at.
I'm jealous.
Sorry. Maybe someday we'll be able to recreate that.
We bring a deep fryer down here and we start deep frying stuff. Imagine
We hurt ourselves.
Oh, yeah. I just start elevating all the pairings. I'm like, let's just deep fry it.
We start grilling in the house, too.
Immediately, April says, no more podcasting in the house.
Like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
We got to do everything outside now?
Just smoking in here. Oh, that's delicious.
What have you been drinking recently?
What have I been drinking? Old fashions.
Yeah?
I usually make my old fashions with rye. I know if you're listening for a while, you know that's what I do. But I made some just straight up Buffalo Trace old fashions the other day.
Not a bad choice.
Delicious. I mean, I'm sure at some point in my life I've had a Buffalo Trace old fashioned.
Sure.
But, dude, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the day. Maybe it was like just the mood I was in. But it was so good. And I was like, why haven't I been using Buffalo Trace for old fashions sooner?
Because you haven't been able to find it for so long.
That is true.
And now it's starting to become more available
I
again.
I have a one of those, what's the size that's bigger than the normal size, but not the huge one?
A liter?
A liter.
Yeah.
I had a liter. I was like, why have I been using this? Pulled it out. Buffalo Trace old fashions. Just nothing special in it. Like, we're going to make a freaking circus old fashioned today, and you put cotton candy on it. No, just simple syrup, bitters, Buffalo Trace, and a good ice cube.
Yeah.
I had like 4.
That's all you need.
And I felt it.
In one night?
Yes.
What night was this? Was this the night that you
What?
the night that you're going to speak about during High Proof Hot Takes?
No.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't planning on drinking that night.
Yeah.
Buffalo Trace old fashions. Make them. If you can't find BT, then I'm sorry. I don't know who's listening or watching.
Ancient age.
I'm just saying. What have you been drinking?
Had more of my Kentucky distillate rare character pick that we drank last week.
Ooh.
I also, one of the bottles that we wound up with from Chad that we didn't drink on last week's episode.
Can we talk about it? Are we allowed to talk about it? Do we need to Photoshop the picture out of it? Are we going to get in trouble?
I don't think so, because it'll be fine. I can speak in vague generalities. It was a maple finished rye.
Yeah.
That I shared with Mom and Dad because they really liked the maple finished bourbon from RD1.
How'd your mom like it?
Shut up.
What? I was just asking.
She didn't like it very much.
I figured. I know her palate. What? I do.
Anyway, my dad thought it was pretty good. I want to kill you.
What?
It's the weirdest meta that we've introduced to this podcast.
I'm just saying.
I know. You're always just saying when it comes to my mom.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. It's the worst troll.
Hey. What?
Anyway.
Tell me to shout her out next time. What? I'm just doing what? Sorry.
Anyway. But other than that, it's been a very light week for me. Again, having fasted yesterday and just trying to, lose a few extra pounds, especially before going on vacation very soon and going to Disney and having to walk around Disney for a few days consecutively.
You'll be good. You'll be all right.
Yeah. I'm just, trying to prepare for it. So it's, that mindset is.
And here I am bringing donuts to you.
Nah, it's fine.
I'm a bad mutant.
Anyway, been kind of a lighter week, but could be worse.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
So
okay. Do you want a glass that says "This is my Bourbon Podcast" on it?
It's very easy. All you have to do is leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or your podcast app of choice. And if it's not on Apple Podcast, send us a screenshot to My Bourbon Pod and Whiskey Mutant.
Yeah.
And you'll get entered into a drawing for one of our exclusive Burn Streams glasses with our logo on it.
We're going to put them out to the public soon. We mentioned it last time. We haven't really pushed it that much, but we want to give you a chance to get one for free. So do that before we put them online and everywhere else, because they will sell out. Leave a review. If there's more than 2, if there's only 2 people that do it, then 2 people get glasses.
Or if you just want to straight up buy one, send us a DM. They're on sale for $15 a pop. And we will get that shipped out to you as well. And we'll take care of that.
Yeah. You can put your mouth on something that says, "This is My Bourbon Podcast."
So what are we doing today?
We are going to find out if podcasters can finish their bourbon.
I mean, I did just put aside my pour of the Knob Creek 15, so
You can't.
I can't.
We can't. But these guys can.
Well, as far as we know.
These look. We even have a picture of them right here. I keep this on my nightstand. Look at them. They're so cute.
Oh.
Kenny and Ryan. You may know them from Bourbon Pursuit.
Or from Pursuit United, or
Pursuit Spirits.
Whatever. But we were gifted this bottle at the meetup of their double oaked bourbon. I'm very excited to review this. We haven't done a review of any Pursuit products in a while. Not since the
French Oak.
The French Oaks came out.
We'll drink on one of those too. We'll talk
Yeah,
about
because
that.
I wanted to see how that compared to another one of their finishes. And then also drink on our favorite from the what was it, 7cc release?
7cc.
Which was their rye whiskey, which was an absolutely phenomenal batch of whiskey. But this was introduced as of recording a couple of weeks ago, and we finally got to try it at TIMBP weekend over Memorial Day weekend. Our buddy Darren brought a bottle, and then Kenny brought bottles to the live show to have people try, and also to sell as well. And I'm really excited to get into this too, because it's, to me, interesting that it's not this powerhouse of double oaking. And I want to talk a little bit about what makes their finishing process so interesting to me as well. Yeah. So we'll get into that a little bit further, but we'll start with checking out the nose here.
Oh, God. Chocolate heaven, man. It's chocolate. Coffee.
Having spent a little bit of time with this as well. Here, do you want to?
But it's savory too.
There is. I was about to say there's almost like a tahine.
A what?
Tahine.
A what?
Okay. Tahine.
What's tahine?
Tajin.
Tajine?
Oh my gosh. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
that, like,
I 100% don't know what tahine is.
You'll know it when you see it. Come on,
God,
keyboard,
it's so
wake up.
Savory. It's just, I had this the other day. I didn't full review it. Oh, that stuff.
Yeah. You still don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
I've seen that bottle.
Okay. So it's like, it is a Mexican spice.
Okay.
But there is a trying to figure out what you're doing.
I was just pouring some of this.
There is something very spice forward about it as well. Where it's not just it's almost like, those bars of dark chocolate that also have pepper in them too. Am I speaking a different
I
language to
don't know
you
what
today?
this pepper chocolate is. No, what are you talking about?
Spicy
chocolate
bar.
I don't know. I've never had that.
Okay.
I will have it now. I'll try it.
It's not anything like not like a Reaper kind of thing, but it's just like Lindt makes one with chili. Ghirardelli.
I do know Ghirardelli. Never had pepper chocolate.
Spicy chocolate beef bar.
Damn. There is chocolate and spice and savoriness in this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Every time, I just felt like I
You got me good twice in a row. I don't know what tahini is. I don't know what pepper chocolate is.
Before we started recording, too, we were going back and forth about something, and I said something that made Eric just really not like what I said, and I took my glasses off, and they broke.
He broke his glasses. He was so mad at me.
I wasn't mad. I was just...
You crunched them in your hand. You couldn't believe what I did. It is
anyway,
spicy
it
chocolate.
is a very complex nose. It's 108 proof, by the way, which is
spicy chocolate.
108 is consistent for all of the products in the United line. So
I love this.
I do too.
That savory note comes through, and it's like a reverse. It's a reverse from the nose. It's almost like the savory chocolate. Chocolate is forward on the nose, chocolate, coffee, but then on the palate, you get that savory note first, and then it finishes with chocolate. Oh, that's so good. And I don't think I've really sat down with this and thought about it that much. I did a pairing on my Instagram, but it was within 69 seconds. You know, I'm rushing through that stuff. It's just so good, man.
Yeah.
It's legit. And it's so different than other, like a double oak, like Woodford or something like that. Like, oh, that savory note is the best.
I was trying to find the price.
Like $65 or something.
Is it? I'm seeing a lot that are like 80.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
That's why I'm trying to...
Tell me I'm wrong.
I've seen some 65. I've seen some 70. Lowest I've seen is 65. So between 65 and 70.
Okay. I ain't mad at that.
No, I'm not either.
What do you get on the palate?
The biggest, most consistent note that I have gotten with this is chocolate chip cookie dough.
Chocolate chip cookie dough. Man, mine's like chocolate chip cookies, but with like a little like bacon dust.
Yeah. It's sorry. What a lot of y'all didn't see that Eric was kind of making fun of me for was this little point like period that I did. And the period that I did midair is the savory note. And I agree with it being that kind of bacon dust, but it's also almost like a dry rub.
I can see that.
For ribs.
Mm-hmm.
And the coffee note, coffee really comes through for me as well. I mean, it is a very, especially at 108 proof, and I think that this is something that you find to be very consistent with Pursuit products, that at 108 proof, they have done an exceptional job of having very well-balanced products that drink well above their weight class.
Yeah.
But never do a bad job of making you feel like you are wanting anything more than what is there. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the rough age is on these. I would venture to guess maybe about 7 years old.
I was going to say 6, maybe 6, 7.
Let me try because you poured some of the
Yes.
the French oak as well.
Ooh. Completely different animal.
Yeah.
Very vanilla heavy on the nose. Oh,
There's something else in there too. Honey, like comb?
Maybe like a honey.
Specifically Honey Crisp, like the cereal?
Oh, yeah. It's kind of, like a dry honey type thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
The honey that has...
What are the Honey-O's? Honey-O's? Little candy?
Yeah.
Honey-O's?
Honey-O's were... Oh, yeah. I was thinking of Honey Smacks, the cereal.
Smacks? Like Smacks? The frog?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they were Honey Smacks.
Aren't they?
That's just Smacks. Honey Smacks.
See? Honey Smacks.
That's the fake brand.
No, it's not.
That's not the real guy. Just put Smacks on there.
Honey Smacks.
See? There.
It's
Smacks.
the same thing, dude.
Then why is it different?
That's the old brand.
That one says Smacks right there.
They're both Kellogg's.
So there's a Honey Smacks and a Smack.
No, it used to be Smacks, and they rebranded to Honey Smacks.
Oh, that's when people started calling drugs Smacks, so they had to change it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's probably what happened.
I think it is, for real.
Yeah.
Honey Smacks. Huh. That one picture looked like the Dollar General store brand, but...
Which one?
I don't know. Comparing it to the old one, look at that. That's classic.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is
dumb.
the one. Looks like Barney.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm used to. That one.
Yeah.
He's like, Smacks.
Yay, drugs. Yay, drugs.
All right, anyway. Yes.
Drugs are bad.
Vanilla and honey,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, that one is so tame compared to the double oaked. I'm not saying that in a bad way.
No, I agree, though.
It is very tame. It's like a smooth.
What was that word?
Smooth.
Once again?
News. Smooth. Bourbon.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, you want something that's kind of tickling all the senses and stuff. The double oaked is where it's at because it's like popping off. Whew. Well, I guess they do know how to finish whiskey.
They do. And here's what I was going to say earlier, too, about what, and I don't know exactly what they're, anybody who has actually gone to Pursuit, I haven't had the chance to do so myself, and see what they do at their facility. But they can probably speak more to this than I can. They more than likely can. But what I was going to say is that it feels like they're a little bit more conservative with their finishing process, to the point where they know exactly what is enough.
Right.
And that's not to say that when you look at something like, and I think I'm using this example because it's the most prominent Woodford Reserve double oaked. It's not to say that that is over double oaked, but that is a finishing process that really is used to highlight the double oaking process.
Yeah.
This seems to capture more of like, and I think this is true for the Pursuit line in general. It widely is used to capture a taste of like the different aspects of bourbon making. without being overpowering, you know?
Yeah.
And everything that I have tried from them has been just right. You know, it's the Goldilocks effect.
Just right.
And this is something that we talked about with Kenny too at the live show. It's the benefit of being somebody who has tried thousands of different brands and interviewed so many different brand ambassadors and bourbon creators that you just kind of know, not that it's a one-to-one comparison, but you do just kind of know going into it what makes a bourbon tick. Tick.
Tick. Tick tock. Tick tock.
And it is interesting to me to see podcasters actually create their own bourbon.
Yeah, they did it.
And I think this is one of the prime examples of like knowing what you're doing. And I think that truly, like, especially moving from, you know, the core products in their lineup, the bourbon and the rye.
Yeah.
Which, can you pour a little bit of the... Oh, wait.
I don't know how.
You forgot how to pour.
Yeah. 1,000 interviews. I'll put some more. 1,000 interviews, one live show.
Yeah, it's wild that we were Kenny's first live show.
Kenny's first, baby. This bad boy. This one right here, if you're watching, it's on the screen right now.
The Pursuit United Rye Batch 7cc. Still 108 proof.
Yeah. So good.
It's
just so good, man. It's Christmas in a glass.
I still... I hate to be like, I need to plan out all my cigar smokes, but this is one where I just really need to take the time to sit out and smoke a cigar with this.
This is the Little Debbie gingerbread man cake cookie. It's just enough ginger, but it's got like a little bit of icing on it, and it's just right. Like this. Listen, I love the double oaked. I like the French toasted, but this rye, man, it's just my baby. Like I mean, it's about gone.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt I can go and get a 7cc batch anymore. I'm sure they're on like 29 double D by now.
I don't even know what the numerical system is for
I
it.
didn't understand it when they told us.
Yeah, I thought it was CC for Cecil and Coleman.
No, it's like...
And they were like, hey, that's just where we are in the numerical system. I was like, I still don't get it.
Either way, it's good. It's delicious.
So, yeah. But anyway, back to the double oaked.
It's delicious too.
It really is, and I hope that this is not a one-off product. I do hope that they continue making.
It says batch on it.
Oh, there you go.
This
batch
is
3 CD.
3 CD.
I don't know.
CD.
Compact disc?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, nose, palate, finish, and price is our review system on the podcast. Each category is out of 5. Final score is out of 20. What are you giving this on the nose?
On the nose. 3.5.
I'm going to agree with you on that.
I think this is above average nose. I think it goes a little more into the palate.
I like how funky it is on the nose.
It's a little funky.
Too.
It's that savory chocolate. I mean, that's not...
Oh, on the nose or the palate? I was still talking about the nose. I'm sorry.
That's what I am too.
Oh, okay.
Like, remember I said it flips. It's like...
Oh, yeah.
It's more chocolate and savory, and then it flips on the palate. I think the nose is just kind of like a kind of a safer funky. Like if you're not like used to funky,
right?
It's a little bit more approachable.
Yeah.
I think when you take a sip of it though, and then it gets a little funky. You know what I'm saying? That's when the kind of that savory note takes over, and you get a little bit less of the chocolate in the coffee. But I love that so much. 4 on the palate for me. I gotta agree with you, man. We're in the same boat on this one so far. Yeah, that funky palate's good. Finish is the perfect balance between the nose and the palate. Did I say balance or palate twice? Perfect balance between the nose and the palate. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. If I didn't say that, I apologize. That's what I meant to say. It's just long enough to make me want to keep going back to it. It doesn't necessarily like go anywhere different on the finish. You know, maybe a little bit towards Tobacco Land. Tobacco Land. I love that place. Stay away. It causes cancer. Oh. Menthol Mountain? That's right. Well, that also gives you cancer, but what? It's like you're eating good ice cream in the meantime. I'm going to give it a 3.5 there as well. I'm going to give the finish a 3 because, like you said, it is a good mix of both. I just want it to be a little more. That's the only Well, for me, it's the tobacco note that's pushing it. I'm not getting as much tobacco on that finish. I'm kind of wanting more of it's kind of one of those uphill things for me. It's like nose, then palate, then I want the finish to just blow my balls off. Yeah. And it is just safe again. It kind of goes back down to safe. It's it's not a terribly long finish, and I don't get too much more. It just kind of keeps going. So it's just an average finish to me. We can sit here and play the guessing game all day, but don't you think we're, at cast strength? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's that's a no-brainer. Yeah. No-brainer. Yeah. Yeah. Price at $65 to $70. I mean, that's kind of what we were seeing. Like I think we said earlier. You put this up against other $65 to $75 bottles, it's going to stand out. I'm 100% okay with paying up to $75 for this. I mean, $75 is getting a little expensive, but with the experience you get with this, I'm not mad at it. It's about, this is something that we are, again, having to adjust with our pricing scores with the podcast these days. It's just part of it, especially with being a small craft brand. I understand why it is priced at this. It doesn't really bother me. I get it. I'm between a 3.5 and a 4. I was gonna say 3.5. Yeah, I'm still teetering between the two. I'll give it a 3.5. I mean, it's close. It's bordering 4. Yeah. I just think about hey, this is not our brand. On a bad paycheck week. Yeah. Yeah. What bills do I gotta pay this week? No, I'm thinking this is our brand. We can say what we want. Is it a 5-week month or a 4-week month? You know what I mean? I want to say though, I put this. If I see this on the shelf at 65 to 70 or whatever, and I see Peerless Double Oaked on the shelf at what, 100? Yeah. This all day. Not because I'm not. No, and I love Peerless Double Oaked. I'm saying that little bit of price decrease. I agree. I completely agree with you. That does it for me. So, yeah. Either way. I'm a 14.5. 14. I mean, this is a win for me, man. Yeah, dude. It's a really, really solid bottle. I'm glad I have it. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you for the lap. Thank you for sharing a cream pie with me.
I'm just going to leave it there.
We did.
I know. I just didn't know how to contextualize that for anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cream pie.
Well, Eric, do you have any high proof hot takes this week?
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
We got to talk about something.
I didn't do it, and neither did my wife.
Listen, if you're going to confess your love for your partner, your wife, your significant other, don't spray paint their name on somebody's fence. Put the picture on the screen.
I will, but
you didn't have to do this.
I don't understand.
Was not necessary.
Okay, let's contextualize things for people here.
You spray painted Lucy on my fence.
Look, you caught me.
I hope it was worth it. You can admit it.
You caught me fence-handed, okay?
I don't know anybody else named Lucy.
It wasn't me. But it is genuinely one of the funniest things. And your stories on social media, the progression was so funny. Going from, I got to deal with this, to I'm making my own art, to it's pouring, to and now I'm drinking bourbon. It was so funny.
I was trying to get this spray paint off of my fence. This was painted on the side of the fence where everyone can see it by the road.
Yeah.
The worst graffiti art ever. I would have thought that where I live, people were graffiti my fence.
And it just said Lucy.
It said Lucy, I love you, love Perry.
No, it didn't say that.
It did.
It just said Lucy.
I saw the fine print. I had to power wash my fence, which I will say the only way you would have ever got me to power wash the fence, which it probably needed to be power washed, was if you graffitied my fence. Now one section looks nice. Now the rest of the weekend, I will be power washing the rest of my fence. And yes, I wasn't planning on having a drink that day because I was trying to be good.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not going to, and I did have something. I opened a Weller Foolproof. I've drank it.
Can I have some?
Yes.
Thank you.
If you admit it was you.
It wasn't me.
It was. You know what else you did?
What?
I won a little challenge in the Discord. And somebody had to send
Did you
me
actually?
Yeah. You didn't even, you knew this.
No, I didn't. I genuinely did not.
Then Andrew West has some explaining to do. I won a bottle in our little challenge in the Discord. And Andrew West has to send me something. And he was asking what I wanted.
Oh.
And we were talking and he goes, Perry said I should send bad whiskey. Are you kidding me?
No.
All in the same time period.
That's really funny, actually.
Coincidence?
I forgot about
I think not.
I forgot about that. So there was a weight loss challenge in our Discord, which you have access to if you sign up to our Patreon at patreon.com/Bourbon Podcast. And Andrew asked me, I really thought he was joking. He said, should I send Eric bad Canadian whiskey or good Canadian whiskey? And I said, whatever you send him, you should send him a sample of the other one, just as a joke. I didn't think he would actually.
We'll see. We'll find out, I guess.
Hopefully he sends you good
we share
whiskey.
the stuff. You should have said send all the good stuff because you're going to get it.
Yeah, you're right. Well,
and then you spray painted my fence. Don't spray paint people's fences. That's my tips and hot take. Why would you do that?
I
thought you were a better artist. It was not good.
I never said I could draw.
You're a graphic designer. You could have printed it on there or something.
So did it happen overnight? Like, in all seriousness?
I mean, I had to have.
That's
People were texting me going, "What's on your fence? Who's Lucy?" I was like, "What are you talking about?"
What do you mean? It's so dumb.
So why don't spray paint my house again?
At least it was your fence and not your actual house.
If you want to tell Lucy how much you love her,
I tell her every day.
I know. You don't have to graffiti people's names.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I can't believe you would do that. I forgive you though.
Thank you. Sorry about the whiskey thing too.
We'll see. I haven't found out what happens on that one. We'll see if I forgive you or not.
I don't have any high proof hot takes.
Tips and bits.
Tips and bits. This is the segment of the show where we recommend things that you should watch, read, listen to, enjoy. That we have been doing so recently as well. I got a couple of things. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Did you watch The Acolyte?
I have not watched The Acolyte yet.
We'll talk about that later.
I've been getting caught up on a couple of things.
Well, I watched that. We'll talk about it later. I won't say anything. Also watched a new series on Netflix called Tires.
I haven't heard of this.
It's a comedy with Shane Gillis and Stavros.
Oh, no, I have heard of this. I take that back.
It's a very you can tell it takes inspiration from The Office. It's about a tire company, or not a tire company, but like a garage that replaces tires, does oil changes and stuff like that. And you got this band of, just vulgar workers, everything but insane happens. They're competing against like the other branches in the company.
Right.
It's just a straight up dumb, funny comedy. Like dick jokes, fart jokes, stuff like that in there. Okay. Exactly what you would expect me to watch.
And recommend.
Yeah. So, yes, Tires on Netflix if you want just a mindless comedy to have some good belly laughs and whatever. So,
I will recommend something that is also very funny, but maybe a little bit difficult to watch as well. It's a YouTube series on the Grouse House YouTube channel.
Grouse House?
Grouse House.
Like grout?
No, grouse. Grouse. Spelled like house, but with GR instead of H.
Okay.
It's the same YouTube channel that hosted Hug the Sun, which I talked about a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's a series that is hosted by and put on by the boys from Auntie Donna, and it's basically party quirks, right? But they've dubbed it the most upsetting guessing game in the world because they take it to an insane level where it's not just like one quirk. So if anybody doesn't know what Party Quirks is, it's an improv game where somebody is hosting a party, right? And they're given, the people who are attending the party are given a funny quirk or attribute that the host of the party has to guess. So like if I were hosting the party, Eric would come in and maybe he's, a chicken. Or whatever, he would act like a chicken, and I would have to guess that he was a chicken. That's how I would win the game, right? And then it would
burning up in this deep fryer.
Yeah, exactly, something like that. He's a
Colonel, don't touch me like
exactly.
that.
He's a chicken at the KFC, and the Colonel's also assaulting him or something. Like that would be
chicken.
There would be some layer like that, but like the way that they play it on the most upsetting guessing game is like there's that layer, but then it's also like. But you're somebody's third nipple that has been, and then it's also like, and you're also every movie in Mel Gibson's repertoire.
Oh God!
And also you're the idea of like it's just like
insane.
Layers deep, and some episodes literally go for an hour and a half. And you're just watching these comedians descend into madness. And it's so funny. And I love it so much.
It sounds awesome.
It's great. It's really, really funny. But it's very stereotypical of like the Australian comedy that I have talked about for years on the podcast and love very dearly. But on the very much flip side of that, and kind of in the drier, the way drier sense, is a newsletter that I subscribe to as well, where I kind of get daily news when I get up in the morning. I had one that I subscribed to for a long time, and it really, really tanked at the end of last year. And it started to pick up again around like February, but then it never really fully recovered. And so I finally unsubscribed and I tried to find a new one. And I landed on the 1440 Daily Digest. The reason it's named 1440 is because that's when the printing press was first invented, or roughly around then. Super cool. But they do a really good rundown of just political news, some sports, science, stuff like that. Little to no bias. Just a good way to stay informed throughout your day.
I should do that.
And
I
everything.
should start reading something like
yeah,
that.
I mean, it just goes to your inbox. Has a good little like, this happened on this day, and things like that. It's just really nice. It's not that I don't stay up to date on news and politics anyway, but it's a good way to kind of get a jump start throughout.
I don't at all.
A lot of it.
I depend on April and you to keep me informed of things, and that's the honest truth.
I'm the most in tune right now than I ever have been with news and politics, both domestic and international.
Yeah.
And this is just another way that I have found to like stay abreast of things. So too. Anyway, that's a show.
That's a show. If you want to do the right thing,
well, that's not a good segue because
you would have just heard that on the uncut stuff if you subscribed or were part of the Patreon. Go to patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast for as little as $1 a month. You can support the show at $5. You get all the bonus stuff. You get this uncut, what I was just talking about, and you get the bonus episodes. And now you can also go to Apple Podcasts and be a subscriber and get all that bonus stuff as well.
Well, just the audio stuff. If you want to like get access to the Discord, if you want some extra perks as well, including like a free shirt when you sign up at the $20 tier, and some other stuff as well, that's when you want to head over to the Patreon at patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast, which reminds me as well, we have 2 new Patreon subscribers that we need to shout out as well. The first of them,
Smacks the Frog.
No.
Oh.
No. The first one was a gentleman who showed up, was the last one to sign up for the meetup weekend, and also jumped on the Patreon to show his support as well. Mr. Max hopped on.
Max. Didn't meet him at the meat shop. Met him at the coffee shop of ketchup.
Coffee shop of ketchup.
Yes. We went to a coffee shop, me and April did, and I looked over, and there was this gentleman who was making coffee with ketchup. I was like, what is this? He's like, just try it. It's amazing. I did. And I said, where did you get this ketchup? He said, it's a family recipe. Only I know. People have been trying to kill my family for years to get this. You know what? They're still alive because he's a protector of his family, a connoisseur of ketchup, and an all-around sexy boy.
And a wonderful human being.
He's amazing. Then I met him again in an elevator. They got stuck, and we stayed overnight in an elevator together. And then he said he's going to join the Patreon.
And he did.
And he did. He's Max. That's all you need to know.
We also had Michael Hobgood sign up as well.
Michael Hobgood?
Yeah.
I think I know who this is. I met him at the hot dog stand.
Hobgood's Hot Dogs?
Hobgood's Hot Dogs. He was grinding meat like crazy into the shape of wieners. And he stuck his Hobgood dog right in my mouth. And I put Max's ketchup all over it. And it was the craziest date I've ever had. And then he said, you know what? I like the way you take that dog. I'm going to subscribe and support the show on Patreon.
It was really, really awkward that his wife Jenny was in front of you the whole time too.
What?
But Mike and Jenny also came to the live show.
I didn't know. Now I feel awkward.
Anyway, Max and Michael, thanks so much for signing up to the Patreon. Also, if you want to send us any mail, any kind of correspondence, samples, bottles, whatever that you would like for us to try on the show, you can send them to P.O. Box 22609, Lexington, Kentucky 40522. P.O. Box is open.
It's open. It's always open.
Yeah.
If you want to send us an email, I mean, we actually had to use our email recently, so...
I've been using it a lot, actually.
This is mybourbonshop@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on all social media, you can follow me at Whiskey Mutant. You can follow Perry at PRitter1792. And you can follow the show as a whole at My Bourbon Pod. We also have a Facebook group. You can go there. We do show updates, any kind of tickets or bottles, anything we may do, or we put it on there as well. Facebook, This Is My Bourbon Podcast Facebook group. Answer some questions. We'll let you in, and you're good to go.
Yeah. You can also find all of our apparel and merchandise at bourbonshop.threadless.com. There's new stuff going up there every now and then.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of old designs that are up there. Go and find you something that strikes your fancy. Do you want to get something? Was that Wolverine claws?
No, it was striking my fancy.
Oh, okay.
Like hot iron.
And then last but not least, we do have the Barrel Rings line, which we need to get caught up on sooner than later. We got a couple things over there that we need to hit. But that is our toll-free number.
You can text it or call it.
Call or text, and we will listen to it, the voicemail, or read the text message out here on the show. That number is
859-428 8253.
859-428-8253. Call and leave a voicemail or text us.
And then you can go, if you're listening, you can go to YouTube if you want to see our faces. We put all the episodes up on YouTube.
Yeah, I guess that wasn't last but not least.
We got two more things.
Oh, we do?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
YouTube.com. All the episodes are there. Perry goes live every Thursday night. You can get all the stuff there on YouTube as well. Plus, we need you to share, like, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. I say it all the time.
Please.
But we want to get some reviews, and we will read your review out on the air. We have some glasses we need to sell. But this week, we're going to give some away. For everybody that does a review, and we'll read it next episode, we'll put you in a drawing, and the winner gets a glass. So leave a review. Let us know. Say something funny. Do something. And you'll get a glass if we pick you. You don't just leave a review. If there's like 10 people that leave a review, we're not going to give 10 glasses. If there's more than 2 that leave a review.
Yeah, if there's only 2, then I guess you'll both get one.
2 people get glasses. More than 2, you're going in a drawing. That's the rules. That's a show.
That's a show. Thank you all so much for listening, for watching, for supporting the show as you always do. It's been a great episode. We'll see you all next time. Until then, I'm Perry.
I'm Eric.
And this is My Bourbon Podcast.